Good morning, everybody. I'm Nikki Stanzione.
And I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
And this is New Mexico style. I try to say it in a different way every day, but it always comes out the same. But the emphasis on the word this. I got that from Ryan Seacrest when he says, and this is American Idol.
Yes. I wonder how long he contemplated how he was doing
I know. I contemplated clearly a very long time on this. Well, welcome to Thursday. Good morning to you. We're in our crimson colors today.
Yes.
I'm really excited. Can I please just show the back of my shirt?
Yes,
I'm so excited about it. Look at the back of this shirt. Isn't this so cool? This is
got
like
little feathers.
Right? And if you go anywhere outside of New Mexico, you know they're going to be like, did you get that in New Mexico? It's just got that New Mexico vibe, right?
I like it.
Of course, Wild Rose Trudy, thank you for this amazing shirt. Meanwhile, last night I did go to Mary Poppins.
Yes, how was it? How was it?
I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted.
Was it a late night?
It was. It always is. You know what it is? It's the parking. It's coming out of Popejoy at the end of the night that makes it a long night. But
tell me about the show. How was it?
Okay, Kristen, it was so good. First of all, they did get a standing ovation, which I love to see on an opening night. And I took my friend and her daughter. So that made it extra special. I love to see kids. There were a lot of kids, a lot of families. The woman who played Mary Poppins was fantastic. And of course, Q, who was on our show yesterday, she played the Bird Lady as well as Miss Andrews. And she... You know, it wasn't a role where she was in the show perpetually. She only had smaller times on stage. But my God, she was good.
I saw it yesterday. She was amazing.
Oh, yeah. Amazing.
I just wish I didn't have such an early bedtime, so I could have gone and check it out. But
maybe over the weekend. You know, the thing about the show is that it's very magical and whimsical, and it
I love Mary Poppins.
Yeah,
it's Mary Poppins.
It ignites the spirit of innocence and of hope, and that things can happen if you want to make it happen. You know.
True.
Yes, and the truth of the matter is just a spoonful of sugar always helps the medicine
That's
go
what
down.
I was just about to say. Like that's like the biggest thing I remember from that.
Yeah.
I would always ask, like, can I have some sugar, please?
Right.
We have to take that awful medicine.
I know, it always makes the medicine go down.
Yeah.
It was good. So yeah, so I'm glad I got to see it. So thanks to everybody over Popejoy. Great group of people. Jan Turi, everybody over there, really good people. So, and great production. So I just had to thank them for that.
Okay, so good stuff there, not so good stuff happening in the news here, and we're following it really closely because of the weather. Crews are starting to gain the upper hand on a wildfire burning on both sides of a wooded area along the Rio Grande on Albuquerque's northern edge. So it's getting a little better, but...
Yeah, the fire officials are basically saying that the Romero fire was 70% contained on the west side of the river by Wednesday night. But Kristen, will the weather actually help or hinder the firefighters on their mission today?
Well, you know, they've been keeping a very close eye, and we all have, on the winds. We had a cold front come through. Whenever those fronts come through, we get that easterly winds. I mean, here in Albuquerque, we've had gusts up to 50 miles an hour and higher. That started overnight.
Oh, yeah.
Has continued through the morning. Thankfully, over in Corrales, where they're battling the Romero fire, these winds, the reason why they're so fast, coming through the metro area so fast or so quickly, is because they're getting squeezed through Tierras Canyon and they're picking up momentum. But where Corrales is, they're kind of in a protected spot. We're not seeing the winds coming over top of the mountains. So they had a little bit of some gustiness earlier overnight last night, but the winds have since calmed down, and so it looks like they should be okay as far as the wind's concerned, and some moisture has actually worked their way there.
That's
great. Helpful. It won't be as hot today. Right now it's 73 degrees, winds out of the east at 30 miles an hour here in Albuquerque, and we're seeing the gusts taper from earlier up near 40 miles an hour right now. We'll continue to see the gusts here in the metro area near 40 miles an hour through 9 o'clock, and then slowly tapering off with some gustiness at times. But again, in Corrales, a little bit better protected. They could see some gusts here and there, but they're not going to see the strong winds that we see here. And again, the moisture that is just there, 53%. We've been in the single digits as far as humidity is concerned for the last couple of days. So we're looking a lot better that way. And across eastern New Mexico, even more moisture, where they may see a few thunderstorms this afternoon, scattered storms in the forecast for the northeast, and the heat. Certainly better when you get the moisture. We're not seeing the triple-digit heat, and even in Albuquerque, low 90s for highs today, 80s and 90s out east. Out west, still really dry, though. They're going to be in the mid to upper 90s across the four corners. So we're going to keep a close eye on the wind. We'll continue to keep a close eye on that. Any dry storms that could spark up some gusty winds. But otherwise, things are looking a little bit better as far as the weather is concerned for the firefighters.
That's definitely giving us a little hope. And I will warn everybody that's getting out on the road at any time in this hour. It is really windy. Just taking 40 and 25 this morning, I was like, oh my God, everything was blowing. So just be aware of that. And for the very latest on the Romero fire, we can check in with KRQE News 13 anchor Elizabeth Alvarez, also in a shade of red.
Yes, it's Red Day today. Good morning, ladies. Happy Thursday. Yes, let's continue talking about this fire that is burning in the Bosque. It continues to burn just north of Albuquerque. As Nikki mentioned, it is being called the Romero fire, and firefighters have been battling the flames and winds all night long into this morning. Here is what we know right now. On the east side of the river, the fire has now burned, we're told, more than 200 acres. And to make matters worse, across Highway 313, there is a major gas line that they're concerned about, that they're monitoring. If the wind doesn't die down, this fire could easily get out of control. That is why Governor Susana Martinez has put the National Guard on standby. On the west side of the river in Corrales, things are a little bit better there. That fire, the fire there just burned about 6 acres, and firefighters pretty much have most of it, about 80% of it, contained. And firefighters think that the fire is human caused because there was no lightning in the area yesterday. Albuquerque, as a result, is under an air quality alert this morning. That should go until about 10 a.m. The city's environmental health department issued the alert yesterday after the fire started. It's really best if you can stay indoors today with your windows and doors shut, they say. You also may want to avoid using your swamp coolers. I know that's tough to do with so many of us that have swamp coolers, with it being so hot, but that's really the best way to keep that smoke and the smell of that smoke out of your home. All right, in other news this morning, if you live in Bernalillo County, expect to see an increase in your water bill. Last night, the Water Utility Board approved 5% rate hikes for 2016 and 2018. The average customer right now pays about $45 a month. By 2017, your bill could be around $54 a month. The board says the money is needed to fix aging steel water and sewer pipes, as well as to rebuild the primary sewage plant. Listen up, Albuquerque parents. If your school-aged kids skip too many days of school, guess what? You could be in trouble for that. Parents who continually fail to get their kids to school could be charged with misdemeanors and even face jail time. The Albuquerque Public School District says nearly 500 new kindergartners and first graders missed 10 or more days of class last year.
Kid Elementary, it's not the kid walking off campus. No, it's not like middle or high at all. The kid never showed up to school.
Yeah, that's not good. But get this, a spokesperson for the DA's office says that it doesn't do any good to put parents behind bars. A little bit of debate going on there. All right, remember Tuffy, the kitten we told you about, who was drenched in paint and left to die? Well, this morning we have learned Tuffy, unfortunately, is permanently blind now. Officials at Santa Fe's animal shelter named the kitten Tuffy because of the kitten's will to live. Well, Tuffy was found clinging to life in that garbage bin there. Animal rescuers were able to get the paint out of his eyes, but unfortunately, it had already done some serious damage. Look at that poor kitten there. Tuffy is still recovering. The good news is that he is doing a lot better. He is with a foster family right now and should be up for adoption soon. There is a $2,500 reward for the person who leads police to Tuffy's abusers. So sweet. All right, and that wraps it up for your Thursday morning headlines. Be sure to catch Matt Morrow, Kristen Van Dyke, and me every weekday morning on KRQE News 13 beginning at 4:30 a.m. Lady's going to send it back to you. Poor Tuffy.
Aw,
such a tough. Yeah, he's a fighter though.
That's hard to see, but yeah, fighters usually fight it through, and we'll hope for the best. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Well, camping is a popular summer pastime, but unattended campfires have sparked many catastrophic wildfires.
Yeah. KRQE News 13's Scott Daniels took a tour of the Jemez Mountains where rangers showed him that warnings and restrictions just aren't enough.
The Jemez has been a prime destination this summer for New Mexicans, packed with campers every weekend, and that means campfires. Some of them have charred the hills with 30-foot flames. Rangers and forest workers have put out 120 unattended or smoldering campfires this month in the Jemez, 87 just last weekend.
87 is a lot of campfires to put out on a weekend. It really is, and it really begs the question as far as what's going on there. What are we missing?
Fire restrictions prohibit campfires of any kind right now, but that's not stopping people. Assistant Fire Manager Todd Lurkey responded to 6 wildfires in the last 2 weeks that were all accidentally started by campers.
They failed to extinguish their fire completely, and it crept out overnight. You can see the little runner right here.
60 firefighters got to one of them just in time on Sunday to keep it down to an acre. The cost to fight it was $110,000.
Are they missing the point here?
Yeah, I'm afraid they are. I think a lot of times it's on the news, you'll see that it's coming into restrictions, it's stage 2 or something like that, and I'm afraid it's going right past them.
Sandoval County's deputy fire chief says his crew must respond too, which stretches his department thin.
Those are the same people. They're going to be called to the next EMS call. Now they're tied up on the fire.
You've got to take responsibility. Do what the firefighters do. Use dirt, water, and feel to make sure it's out completely.
Lurkey says hot and dry conditions aside, if human-caused fires keep popping up, they'll close off the Jemez Mountains to hikers and campers, period. That's something no one wants to see happen, especially the tourism industry up here. In the Jemez, Scott Daniels, KRQE News 13.
The U.S. Forest Service has what they call rapid reaction fire crews that are from Montana that are stationed in the Jemez Mountains.
Yeah, so that's really good, and I'm glad that we got a chance to see that. It really, you know, people still want to get outside and do things, but we have to do it safely, more importantly than anything, especially now. Now, here's a lesson for Albuquerque students. Don't play hooky. Have you played hooky a lot in your life?
Oh, I think we all have before.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I played the tardy card a lot. I always had to, you know, I had to sleep in for some reason or another. My mom was really good at those notes. But a recent La Cueva High School grad, did not miss a single day of school last year, and it paid off.
Literally. Jordan McDonald was rewarded with a brand new car. Jordan beat out 118 other students with perfect attendance who qualified for the new car. All of their names were put into a drawing, and Jordan won.
That is so cool.
What an awesome gift.
That is awesome.
What a great reward.
Oh my God. The car is paid for by the Albuquerque New Car and Truck Dealers Association, and Jordan will attend UNM in the fall, so good for her. She got a new car. I mean, seriously, she didn't even have to go on Oprah to get a car. All she had to do is go to school every day, and I'll tell you, that is a great motivator right there.
It is. That, you know, that's a tough thing to do. It's really tough to do. I mean, think about that. Like, I mean, I bet there were some days she probably did not want to get up and get out of bed.
Oh, yeah.
But she did it, and she got a reward for it.
No kidding. She toughed it out better than all of us. I mean, when we get sick, we get sick. And, you know, obviously, well, I want to know her secret to how she stayed healthy to go to school every day. We'll have to maybe get her on the show or something. Good for her. Congratulations. Yeah. That's awesome. All right, now we got to get into one of my favorite topics we haven't talked about for a while.
We haven't.
Ooh, American Idol. Season 11 American Idol's top 10 are actually getting ready to hit the stage for the Idol Summer Tour, and champion Philip Phillips won't be left out even after that kidney surgery. Good for him.
Fox's Sabrina Sabah has a wrap of the day's entertainment news in the Hollywood Nation Report.
Big Bird, guess what? Big Bird on the big screen, Jim drops out, and an Idol winner is back on stage in the Hollywood Nation. 2 weeks after undergoing kidney surgery, Idol Season 11 winner Philip Phillips made his first public appearance Wednesday morning at the American Idol tour rehearsal. He told Fox that he's feeling better every day.
Taking it easy still a little bit, but you know, still recovering a little bit, but I'm doing well, so I'm just still practicing, you know, when I can.
Metallica's Kirk Hammett is releasing his first book this October. Too Much Horror Business, the Kirk Hammett collection, documents the guitarist's love of horror films and features memorabilia that he's collected over the years. Jim Carrey has dropped out of the upcoming Dumb and Dumber sequel. A spokesperson says Carrey withdrew from the film because of frustration with New Line and Warner Brothers Studios.
What a surprise!
And Sesame Street is being made into a movie. The Hollywood Reporter says 20th Century Fox has picked up the rights to turn the famous children's TV show into a film. The studio has not confirmed the report.
Oh, cool! Elmo can picture that.
In Hollywood, Sabrina Sabah, Fox News.
Oh, wow, I love Sesame Street. I'm so excited. My sister's having a baby, and so I'll get an excuse to watch Sesame Street again. In the meantime, a good weekend to probably stay in the air conditioning. Still hot.
Yeah,
hot,
it's still going to be hot. Today, a little break from the heat. Still hot, but hey, you know, we'll take whatever cool off we can get. And we're going to get about 7 degrees cooler today.